Shadiversity is a guy on the internet. Shadiversity, friend of the channel, guy that needs no introduction. Actually getting 2 Shad segments in 1 week is crazy because I haven't talked about him a bunch before that. I think it was like a little while ago, in my mind at least. Shadiversity, 6 months or so ago, released a video. He's like, YouTube is killing my channel, or my channel is dying, it's over. I can't remember, some big overblown like woe is me type thing. Okay. And a lot of guys were releasing that at the exact same time. Second Thought also put out a similar video because it was the doldrums. And usually those like my channel is dying type things are ways to get people to donate to you in order to like, you know, accomplish a little bit. I have been hearing, this hasn't been the case for me. I might be too small or I might be just better positioned. I have been hearing that a bunch of people got fucking smoked by the YouTube algorithm for the last like month-ish, basically throughout the entirety of the American election, and it's kind of snapping back now. And I wouldn't be surprised to find out that what Shad is actually doing is just every time he has like a little blip, he's blaming it on his fucking politics or something, which is what happened last time, instead of just the market, which is YouTube just got ed up, right? It got ed up for a while. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if the fucking revenue was because there was probably a bunch of political ads being sold. If I had to guess, there's probably a bunch of political ads being sold, and everybody that makes political content might have not been able to have it on there for certain reasons. That could be it. Or just a glut. I don't know. The algorithm goes crazy for a lot of different ways, and money goes crazy for all sorts of different ways. It's not very predictable. You should have more than one type of income, especially if you're going to be in this game for any length of time. Shadiversity's channel is huge. His content is mid to bad nowadays because he doesn't make the stuff that people came to him first. Castles and swords and all that sort of shit. He blew up the swords thing for himself by being a charlatan. I guess he could just still do the castles thing, but then all of his other hobbies, he's kind of shown himself to be either inexpert in or kind of a cunt to everybody else that's in that hobby. The entire art community hates him for AI stuff, as well as the film community and stuff. A lot of the film critic community hates him because he's honestly like a poor man's Mauler or whatever the fuck. All the rest of the people I've ever seen from EFAP world, whatever the fuck that is, they're all just a little bit better than him. And I think they all know a little bit more about movies enough to just talk to how movies are made, at least. So it's like film and media criticisms are fuck awful, and they're not what people come to him to. And just in a general sense, he just, instead of doing the one thing he's good at, he does a lot of really, really uninteresting content and stuff that he's mad about. And probably he got a big boost from that for a while, but I think everybody, and I've been saying this for a while, I think everybody that was majorly into that content is getting exhausted by it. Really. I think the rage bait, even on the far right, you know, is kind of running its course, especially as a lot of those figures start to fall apart. You've seen the fucking Mudahar next Taku thing is going a little kind of fucking cuckoo bananas. Asmongold, still doing fine, but got banned for a little bit. And just, I think even he's like moving away from the cringiness of it and just kind of like generally talk. Actually, no, fuck it. I'm not even going to bring up Asmongold as an example. I don't follow enough of his stuff. I watched 2 minutes clips from him. Fuck Asmongold. But in general, I haven't been seeing as much of this stuff. Quartering fucking fell apart. Tim Pool fell apart. The Russian money vanished. All that kind of stuff. And I think people just don't want to be that pissed off all the fucking time in a general sense. Doesn't mean all of them are gone, but like probably the few people that are the best at that have selected for the biggest chunks of the audiences, and everyone else has bailed. And if you're into this like HEMA shit or D&D, you're probably not going to go to Shad because he's been irritating. But Shadiversity says, I'm close to giving up. Proof the algorithm is determined to kill this channel. And we are going to watch a grown man in a suit of armor talk about his floundering career as a media personality.
Platform, and if you've seen any of YouTube is an ever-changing platform, and if you've seen any of the other update-related videos on Shadiversity, you'll probably be aware that we have really been struggling, and unfortunately, it's only been getting worse to the point now where it is very much an adapt or die situation. In spite of the channel having a higher click-through rate and other really good metrics, average viewer watch time really high, likes, and also conversion from recommendations, we have been receiving some of the lowest impressions, which are the recommendations YouTube gives, the lowest impressions we have had since impressions were recorded in your YouTube analytics, so lowest in 6 years. And as you can imagine, that has been apocalyptic for the views, the growth,
yeah. So this is what I said before and kind of repeated right here. Essentially, what you've done is the same thing that happens to a lot of people when they actually make a massive mistake at a high level and aren't talented enough to let their talent or their skill or their unique ability let them continue on, right? Which is he's alienated everyone. That's not his core audience. So he's seeing better metrics for views because he's not seeing new viewers who may or may not like his content, because YouTube's finding out that no one that isn't a hardcore Shadiversity watcher wants to see or hear from Shadiversity. He is the bad conversion. Shad does not convert views into repeat views. So if you send a viewer to Shad, you run the risk of losing a viewer for the platform in general that day. That's basically what that fucking means. So his overall watch time has gone up because less people are experimenting with his channel. Less people are going, okay, I'll give it 2 minutes, I'll give it 3. Because that's like, if you have a bunch of people and new people come in, maybe you convert half of them, it's going to pull your fucking overall view time down by half, right? You might actually have really, really good view metrics when it comes to like AdSense and stuff, but your growth is going to stagnate. And as we've learned, or I've told you guys a bunch of times, you have to constantly get new viewers in order to just maintain. You have to have like a 10% increase or a 10% overall, like, positive trend of about 10% to maintain a channel in a general sense. Otherwise you fully fucking stagnate because people will just leave. They die. They stop watching YouTube. They go away for a while. So you need to bring in new people to replace them. Growth is that plus on top of it. And so he's at the worst part. He's at true stagnation, population decline. He is the Japan of YouTube channels, the Japan birth rate of YouTube channels. Same sort of thing.
The revenue, it genuinely feels like the algorithm is determined to kill this channel. Most of our videos have been underperforming because of low recommendations, not low conversion, based on those recommendations. And when we actually do get our videos recommended to a level that we've seen before, or just an adequate level, videos do really, really well. Our analytics prove that when our content is recommended to people, they watch it. And when that happens, we can have...
Okay, well, all of these are definitely not the things that I really know Shadiversity for. I said this to Tipster recently. Notable internet death crow Tipster was apparently watching my content, and he replied to a random tweet that I made, like kind of just trying to like literally the fucking Twitter version of a Facebook poke, like, okay, don't do that, and like trying to like come in and talk to me, right? And I said to him, your reputation precedes you, and not in a good way. He's like, well, I really like your content. I'm like, okay, well, thank you. I mean, a lot of people do. More people do every day, I hope. That's the same sort of vibe I'm fucking getting. I can't even remember where the hell I was going with that statement. But yeah. With Shadiversity, like his reputation is starting to precede him because a lot of the ancillary communities that would see someone like Shadiversity and then engage with him, arts, culture, HEMA, D&D, video games, all that sort of stuff, like they know who he is ahead of time, and they're gonna go, oh, fuck, not this fucking guy. You know what I mean? That's the other content that you make is directly related to that. And even creating another channel was not the best idea. You kind of went crazy with it. You went cuckoo bananas.
Can have videos do really well. Last month, we had a video over 300,000 views. We've had videos do over 500,000 views, but those are the rare exceptions. For the most part, the algorithm has just been...
So have I been talking to Tipster? That entire interaction was the whole of it.
Crushing our videos to the point where they're barely getting seen by our subscribers and basically not at all by new audiences. So my audience hasn't gone anywhere or been driven off or been alienated or become less interested in my videos. If that had happened, it would have been impossible to get the hundreds of thousands of views in these few videos the algorithm thankfully recommended. The viewership numbers from these videos prove my audience is still here. What's actually happening is that the algorithm is literally hiding most of my videos from the people who like to watch them, and when views are low on my videos, it's always due to really low impressions. Not that the algorithm sent out heaps of impressions.
Oh god, is this horrible fucking thing? Low impressions leads to low views. Unique viewers, 40 impressions. Well, I mean, yeah, if you get higher impressions, you get higher views, but here's the thing. These metrics, okay, let me explain this, because I know we're getting confused. These are live metrics. Okay? So if you look at them now, this metric that shows you here does not tell the story of this, right? It doesn't tell you the story of this. This all gets put together as you go. It's an end result, right? It's not indicative necessarily. You got to look into all of this shit right here. You know what I mean? In this case, you got 2.5 million views, but if you look at the graph, yeah, or impressions, you got actually, hold on, what's the math there? 3 times. Okay, so when they gave you 4-ish, right around 4 times the impressions, you only got right around 3 times the views. A little over 3 times the views. You get what I'm saying? Kind of, you get that? Right here, his impressions fell off. They gave him a shitload. Look at this like actual hard line, right? And then probably right around here, YouTube noticed that it was not doing great, right? So it wasn't like popping the fuck off, and they trended him out. Most of my videos look like this. This is actually an algorithm boost right here. This is like a pop off. And then he died. So they actually threw this probably into something like along trending. And then when it didn't hit there, they pulled it out. Blah, 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 blah. This went to all his basic people, and then as his normal audience found it, they watched it. You know what I'm saying? So like you have to look, these are live. The time element of what these numbers are is way more important than the final number. That can give you an idea sort of about it, but if you just look at this, drawing 2 boxes around both of these numbers, right, doesn't explain the massive difference between these 2 graphs. If I'm going to be a little fucking numbers science guy, right, a little actuary, a little statistician or whatever the fuck, when I look at 2 number collections and they're graphed to let me see, the graph is going to tell me more, because the graph has this, right, which is time. So this is 7 days. This is, is this from 2004? Okay, no, it says 2024. This is October 24th through October 30th. So just under a week. Okay, so just under a week, about the same amount of time. I guess he might have said that. But this graph looks like this is nuts. You know what I mean? And also this graph right here seems to be either cut off or he just started with many, many views. I'm not sure why these actually look different. But the discrepancy between the 2 graphs is the most interesting thing to me. This is actually a 7-week period, or almost 7-day period, but he doesn't include the fucking beginning here. So this might even actually look similar to this. It's going to have a little whoop. Every one of these graphs goes whoop like that, because you start with 0. So you have to have 0 and then your first views. And then you get your little pop and pop off and stuff. This is a very normal, this is like one of my work videos, my slop. My slop content looks like this. Standard little and then it'll peter off. This is fucking nuts. Wow. That fall off is bonk. That tells you more about everything. That's the most interesting thing there. I know I keep getting into it.
Very few people in my audience desired to watch, which would be the case if most of my audience disappeared or are less interested in my videos.
What's actually happening is that the algorithm is literally hiding most of my videos from the people who like to watch them and who might like to watch but haven't seen my content before. The algorithm is rarely promoting my videos to new viewers as proven by my suppressed recommendations. My audience is still...
Yeah, I mean, but if I just looked at that. When they recommend you to more people, they get less views. If they recommended you to more people and then you got more views relative to the impressions overall, it would be better. You know what I'm saying? I guess that thing said click through, but also click through rate is not a view, right? If I remember this correctly, a view is over 60 seconds to, I think a view is counted. It has to be a certain amount of time. So if somebody clicks on your video and then they go, and then immediately click off, that's not a view, but it is a click through. So like views are higher. As a matter of fact, let me just look this up real quick so I can just be clear about it. Okay, 30 seconds. So if you have to watch a video for a total of 30 seconds. So even if you click through it and then you click, if you don't watch the entire, if you don't watch more than 30 seconds, even if you click through, then it's not a view. You have to watch a cumulative 30 seconds of the video for it to be a view. So what's happening is he's getting clicks. He's getting clicks. His thumbnails are converting. But when people watch it, they're leaving, which is worse. Your content is not interesting to the new people that it's being provided to. So if you count all of those views, I would want to see his watch time overall for new viewers versus other ones. There's way more. You can see so many metrics. There's a lot of things to click on here. Maybe he will click on them and explain all of this and I'll be completely wrong. That's fine. But like that would really account for that big drop off where YouTube just found out that like, oh, okay, yeah, you're getting a lot of clicks, but no one gives a shit about this. We don't want this to be we're not getting paid for clicks. It's not, BuzzFeed circa 2011 that you'll only irritate your viewers if I get you to fucking click on thumbnails that don't have any. Fraggle! Oh my God. Sweet Cheeks is dying. He needs a treat. Thank you for the $53.25. 50 euros. Thank you very much. We're going to keep this going though.
Still here, but it seems like YouTube does not want them to watch my content, and here is a profound example.
The example is from the video last month, the Fortune Fire, safety video. 300,000 views effectively. We got those 300,000 views for the fact that the video got 4.5 million impressions. And so an impression is whenever you see the video, if you see a video recommended on the side tab or on the home thing, those are all impressions, and that is what drives viewership. The more impressions, the more views you get, dependent on the conversion rate. How many impressions does it take to get a view? Well, on the Fortune Fire video, based on 300,000 views for 4.5 million impressions, that is one view for every 15 impressions. Now, contrast that with our more recent video, Fight Scene, the Shadiversity short film. One of the best, if not the best video we've ever made on the channel, and the algorithm has just buried it. How do I know this? Direct analytical proof.
At the time of recording this video, our fight scene video, in the first 7 days from its upload, received 642,000 impressions, with 50,000 views as a result and a higher click-through rate than the Fortune Fire video. The conversion between impressions and views on the fight scene video is 1 view for every 13 impressions. By all the meaningful metrics, the fight scene video is a higher performing video than the Fortune Fire one. People click on it more often with fewer impressions needed to get a view. This is exactly the same with my recently released
I feel like we're getting restacked here because I know this is a month ago. But if this is the video we just saw, we did not see it from the start. We did not see it from the start of the day, how much it got, and then it fell off. But also, if one video is after another, understand like the algorithm changes your spot every time, right? It's like running in a race, or driving like NASCAR, right? Imagine every time you release a video, you go to another you go paste, right? So you move up 3 spots in the ranking. You're 3 spots up in the ranking on the next video. After that video, you fall back 6 spots. you're now going to race at the next video 3 spots behind where the first video was. You get what I'm saying? And then that's where the algorithm is different every time. And it figures it all out down the line. But if you de-slope, you know what I mean? It's going to change stuff up. And it'll also be different. But also, like, if you're releasing this, shit during fucking Thanksgiving week. All my views went down. All my views went down because people touched grass last week. Like, they touched the fuck out of it.
This video on the whipsword, 377,000 impressions with 29,000 views. That is 1 view for every 13 impressions. Once again, better than my Forged in Fire video, but it is not...
Thank you, Corianne, with the $5 super chat. Tyler's partially responsible for Shad's downfall. It's a group effort. It's true socialism.
Recommended nearly as much. If my fight scene video or my whipsword video were to have received the same amount of impressions as my Forged in Fire video over their first week for being uploaded, meaning they received the same amount of impressions...
This is so weird. Why does this not go back to the start? Why did he not go back to the start with this? Is he fucking with me right now? Because... why does this graph not go all the way back? Because this doesn't look like the first week. If this is the total fucking views for a thing that's been out for like, if this graph is here and it trends like that, then this might be for like several days. Like what's going on here? Yeah, it says it's custom. He asked for a custom time. There we go. He asked for literally these 6 days, which doesn't include the start of it. So he's comparing starting numbers with established video numbers after a long time, which the video goes up, right? Bro, what the fuck is going on here?
Impressions over that first week as my Forge and Fire video did, based on their conversion rate of 1 view for every 13 impressions, those 2 videos both would have received 192,000 views. 20,000 more views for the same amount of impressions as was given our Forged in Fire video. So the question is, why is YouTube not pushing those videos that would receive higher views for fewer impressions?
Because the fucking reaction to the video is probably bad. Like, okay, so he said this before, and this is pretty telling. The only valuable metric, which is not, it's not the case. The reason that YouTube has a bunch of metrics is because it fucking uses them, and then you can use all of those metrics to tell different types of stories, right? If you have fucking 10 tabs and you don't double check all of them to try to figure out what's going on, it's like saying like, well, I checked the fuel gauge. I found that every time I get in my Mitsubishi Lancer and I drive 100 miles, I'm not going to do that the entire time. Every time I get my Mitsubishi and I drive 100 miles, right, I only spend 10 gallons of gas. But last week, I drove fucking only 50 miles and burned up the same 10 gallons. But I know that 10 gallons of gas should always get me 100 miles, which means it's 10 miles to every gallon of gas. Don't know what happened there. But then, like, the other gauges tell you that your fucking parking brake was engaged and your tires were flat. You know what I mean? Like, do you understand like how weird that is? Like, yeah, those are that's correlative data, but it's not causative. The tithe must be paid. Feed the creatures. The first sweet cheek. Hello, over here. Come on, check. Checkity, check. Your little fake tooth is growing back and bothering him. We gotta take Sweet Cheeks to the vet soon. He's got to get his little teeth cut because they're not all there anymore, and one of them didn't get removed in surgery, so it keeps growing back and bugging the fuck out of him. That's why he got the wet chin right now. He's manipulating the data. I'm pretty sure I like even manipulating the data might be a bit much, because like that suggests he can interpret it correctly in the first place. Like he's basically just saying right now that there's a clear correlation between these two numbers, and then he's pretending that it's causative. So like when I get this should happen, which is clearly not happening. So there's something that should be, it should be, there's a missing piece, right? there's so many other tabs to click on that can accommodate that missing piece that if you don't include them in this, it's very clear that you're not trying to actually understand what's going on. You know what I mean?
Literally the videos that the YouTube audience wants to watch more,
as Mitch Hedberg would call it, the make the car smell funny lever,
than other videos that it gives even more impressions to, but results in lesser views. YouTube is literally prioritizing videos that the YouTube audience is less interested to click on. And it's not retention. On average, people watch 41.7% of the whole video. But compared to my Whipsword video, my audience on average watched 46.9% of that video. And the average viewer watched 56.12% of my fight scene video. Both of those videos have a higher engagement and
do you see what the difference is with these numbers? The highest amount of, we watched 56.12%. The video is 5 minutes long. Now, the slightly longer video, but still not the longest, 56.9. The middle length video, okay? The least amount of overall watch time is in the longest video. So, why did you not notice that? Also, this 21 hours ago, 1 month ago, and 6 days ago is just crazy. There's a lot of metrics that are up on this screen. If they're not all brought in, because all of these numbers are correlated, they all are connected. The 28K views is directly connected to the 21 hours of upload time, which is also directly connected to the 1454 runtime, which is also connected to the watch time. All of my videos that are shorter have more percentage of it watched because it's fucking shorter. That's the answer. Because it's a shorter video, so it's easier for people to watch the whole fucking thing. When it's longer, my percent watch time goes down, but sometimes that's still one of my most recommended videos. You know what I mean? This is
attention percent based on their length. But YouTube has chosen to bury those videos, as is the case with most of my recent content. If they were just recommended to my audience, just the people that want to see it, they would watch the videos even more than those videos that YouTube is trying to push in its place.
But YouTube isn't seemingly interested in pushing videos that audiences like, that they interact with, that they want to see, but they have a different algorithmic bias where it is pushing things based on an arbitrary set of standards that I cannot fathom. For some reason,
it's like old man yells at a cloud level of analysis. What in the fuck, man? Maybe the things that you can't figure out are in the other tabs. Like the lack of self-awareness here is crazy. This is the same video from like May or April. It's just him not understanding why like one or two videos are underperforming and refusing to accept the fact that maybe they're not that good and maybe people aren't as interested. And maybe there's additional factors other than you are being persecuted for being the last Mormon in fucking Canberra.
There was something in our Fortune Fire video that gave the algorithm the desire to push it, and when it got pushed...
Isn't watch time in general important? Yeah. So like, more watch time means more ads. So a 5-minute video is actually in a very bad state because like a 2 or 3 minute video doesn't have that much like time, and you can get to the first and last advertisement. A long video, like one of my 1.5 hours, when people rewatch it, if I have ads on it, has a lot of ads in it. So like every 10 minutes to 15 minutes or so, or whatever the spacing is. So if you don't have it past that 10 minutes, you might only have, 1, 2, 3 ads. So like YouTube's probably figuring it out. But if you have a video where people get through more advertisements and spend more time watching it, even if they don't watch the entire thing, YouTube will fucking recommend that video. Because if the video is making YouTube money and people like it, YouTube's going to fucking recommend it. Which is why I still get fucking Harris Bomber guys pathologic fucking video essay to this day recommended to me here and there. I've seen it twice. YouTube's like, you want to watch it one more time? Long as fuck. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. It's all about figuring out the time. All of this shit changes. It all works together. There's a fucking lot of metrics. There's a lot of metrics. There's stuff that he's not even showing you that I don't know what I can bring up. Let me see. So I got my live here. Let's see if I go to YouTube Studio. Let me just double check. I don't think there's anything that's like sensitive in here, but I just want to make sure I don't show you guys anything important. Let's go to metrics. You guys can see how bad my channel's doing. So yeah, okay. Right now, keep it up. Your channel got about the same amount of views as usual. Channel got 254K views, similar to the 222 to 302,000 it usually gets in 28 days. Okay, so this is my estimated revenue, all that shit. Okay, you guys are like, oh, Tyler making money. Cool. Thank you. Top content. Oh, let's Shadvert. Views are 2.9 times higher than usual for this Shad video that came out like this morning or something. More regular viewers are choosing to watch it, and they're watching it longer, helping to increase its reach on YouTube recommendations. Which he'll get all of this too. I want him to click. There's a part. I don't want to mess with this too much or bore you guys. But basically, if I go into this, it'll show you the recent video and it'll click and it'll tell you this video is doing good. This video is not doing great. More new people are watching it. More of your old people, your normal viewers love this. No one likes it. I get plenty. Like about maybe 25% of my videos are like, no one fucking cares. But yeah, I got 1 subscriber. Here's my views. Oh, cool. 6K. That's actually doing pretty good. So like, this is what I'm talking about. See, this is my typical performance, right? And then it starts at 0, it goes up. And then you have all this other stuff. Reach. This is what he's showing you. This is the one screen, right? So we start here and then you can see me get algo bumped. Do you see these little lumps? That's me getting recommended. So right here, I got 14,704 impressions. Right around here, maybe 4 hours after it came out, I guess. First 3 hours, yeah. Right here, they fucking threw me into the algorithm. Hey, a little bit deeper into the core, which is trending. And once you get into trending, it's real shit. So right here, they threw me to new people. New people really liked it. Right here, they threw it to me again. Right here, see? Whop! And then right here, I'm starting to peter off. And then right here is probably where I'm going to start seeing a general like chill. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to be too much. You can see all this stuff, traffic sources, who's watching it, how they're watching it, impressions. I got a 7% click-through rate, views from impressions, 3.5K, 1428 average view. Do you see how much fucking information this is that he's not showing you? External sites or apps, how many people are 0.2%? This is probably all Shad watch on fucking Reddit. Bell notifications sent, YouTube search terms. You can also get down to this, content suggesting this video. This is what I really want to see from him. So this is where people are putting my video on other people's video and sometimes my own videos. What's happening when my video gets recommended on someone else's who's like me? Do those people like it? And that traffic source might get cut off to you permanently if people really don't like it. So whatever closet, woke, gaming, castle, super beast, 288 clip, they sent that to me. This is 16.5 of my total traffic. I got advertised off that, 12.5%. People, I guess, click through. Can you microwave yourself? Nuclear engineer reacts to electro boom. I guess it's because of the AI, more than likely. Wall gnomes. Noah Samson goes sicko mode. That's my own fucking video, about 12.5%. MAGA, the long-term effects of toxic masculinity. I don't even know who made that video. I can see it if I click on all this stuff. Playlist featuring this video, proportion of your total traffic. Engagement. These are my watch times and stuff, right? So you see all this. Typical performance is way lower. So my watch times are fucking phenomenal. People like are popping off with this video. It's actually like solid as shit. Cool. Pretty standard with me in Shadiversity. Likes versus dislikes. Channel average is 94. So it's a little bit liked more than usual. All of these are just part of the fucking story. And this is going to be different after a few days. I can't get any of this info because it's still within the same like 24 hours or so. Revenue, who gives a shit? That won't be calculated for like days. But yeah, these are all the things that you can see. See, since published, he picked those like specific times, right? In here. So like, why did he had to click this? Otherwise, it's always since published because that's what people want to know is the lifetime of a video. So he should have that compared in the first 7 days, but for some reason he's pushed it down the way. He's being either intentionally duplicitous or he's insanely fucking stupid. Like didn't pass what, 9th grade mathematics stupid, maybe? Like you need all of the information because it's all part of the same system. There's a reason they're telling you all of this. Okay? Sure, sometimes it's like the heat gauge in your Mazda where it goes a little fucking sicko mode because your radiator's cracked, but like you got an idea. Your pressure on your tires, don't always need it. The gas is what you pay attention to the most next to the speedometer, and the RPMs, you don't even know what that fucking means because you don't drive stick. But like all of that tells a story about the condition of your car. Do you know what I mean? All of those diagnostics, all of that information is important if you're trying to figure out miles per gallon, which would probably be about the best. Literally, I'm talking about the mileage of his video. So like if you're trying to figure out mileage, you need all of that information. You can't just pick one specific bit and then not focus on the others. Because if you have like if your tires are supposed to be at 34 PSI, but they're all at 30, and then your fucking mileage goes down, and be like, I normally get 10 miles to the gallon. I don't know why I'm getting 8. Like, but according to all possible metrics that are valuable, like I can't explain it. I would go into all of these, you know what I mean? And I look at a bunch of this stuff here and there. I don't care too much. Number watching will drive you literally fucking insane. It's the worst thing to do to yourself. I completely stopped after I hit like I stopped after I hit like 6 or 7K because I got the jeebs every time the number fluctuated and went down slightly. I'm like, they're all unsubscribing. I'm gonna die. But basically, all of this information is necessary to understand what's going on, and then still sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes I think YouTube probably has unregistered super users that are people that it trusts, very similar to like my lighthouse idea of checking my audience. And if those are the kind of people are watching or not watching, it goes, I don't know. It's all over the place how it makes its decisions, and it's not causative even if you have all of the data because it's an algorithm. So sometimes it goes crazy. Sometimes you get bumped because there's somebody else that made a video that's just like yours and it's more interesting. and they'll recommend, competing content and stuff too. Like if you're in a deluge, right? Everybody drops this celebrity just perished video. You might get a lot of views, but you might get fucking scrubbed out by someone else. It's all over the place.
Pushed, of course, we get views, but we literally have videos that are twice as popular. Everything is huge on that video except impressions. It has been crushed. And that's what we've been facing for most of our content, except for the random ones in which the algorithm decides it'll promote it.
So, multiple people from YouTube have said that if you have a video that your audience likes that has a good click-through rate, good retention, and high watch time, will make the YouTube algorithm recommend that video more to new audiences. I can confirm 100% that is not the case for this channel. We literally have videos that are performing better in every single metric but get lower recommendations than others.
Just remember, I don't have to fucking harp on it again, but remember how many metrics I just showed you guys? And how specific you can get in experiencing those metrics. Like you can dial it down. He didn't show you any of those. So like he clicked on one, maybe 2 tabs. And one of them, he didn't even open the whole tab. He just took the one number out of it. And it's got like 6 or 7 numbers. Other stuff he was comparing against, he was not comparing it correctly at the same time. He wasn't doing the first 7 days. He was doing 7 days at a different point in the video. This is bonkers. I don't know why he thinks he's getting away with it. Like if you're a Shadiversity viewer, getting ready to you're only making this video because you hate Shad. Bro, just please fucking respond to me about how does this make you feel? How do you feel like
my situation
you understand more about
not
stuff?
The quality of the video or how much my audience likes or even wants to watch it that determines if YouTube is even willing to recommend it to my own audience.
Shad thinks that fucking mathematics is a Saracen art.
Let alone finding new people.
I will not allow the magic of Salahuddin.
Has been completely dead on the channel. YouTube has been barely showing my content to new viewers this entire year.
I do not know why the algorithm is seemingly trying to kill off this channel. YouTube has been explicit about the fact that they rank videos according to a quality metric which determines how many recommendations they get. The former CEO, Susan Wojcicki, said, "We began to identify content that we called borderline content, that if users were repeatedly engaging with this borderline content, we will show them other content alongside that we've ranked as more high-quality content." That is the CEO, former CEO of YouTube, saying explicitly that YouTube ranks content according to quality, which determines what they push. And they push the content they consider of higher quality. YouTube has also repeatedly said that they push authoritative sources. And it is clear that something here on Shadiversity has put us up.
I mean, if you say someone on Shadiversity is not putting you into the higher metrics and you said that they like authoritative sources, homie.
Under the algorithmic boot of suppression. I don't know if it's targeted, I don't know if it's general. And I'm not saying it is necessarily targeted. It could be short content is just being deranked on long form content, even though it's doing really well in short form content, but they don't make any money, so there's that. It might not actually be due to subject type. It could also be that the algorithm has changed to always prioritize newer content over older content. Our viewership of our backlog content is being devastated. We used to get really good views on our backlog content. Now older videos are basically non-existent. And that has been really damaging for the channel as well. And it's also damaging for a channel that focuses on higher production value content that takes longer to film, which means we get videos out less frequently, and having less recent videos in the algorithm, less recommendations, and that could also be what's killing the channel. Shorts have been devastating. We have a lot of inactive subscribers because when we were doing shorts, we got about 400,000 subscribers from those shorts who don't watch the long-form content. And so what is probably more likely, this is a compounding issue of multiple things.
We're going to bury the lead on this one.
Combined to...
He got 400,000 dead subscribers from shorts. Now, also, we hit a poison pill.
Devastate this channel. So, as I mentioned, we are in a state of adapt or die. And one of the only things that I think we can try now is, okay, if YouTube is prioritizing recent content, we've got to produce more content, which means restructuring the way that we produce stuff on Shadiversity. We still want to do higher production value things, but it's going to be like maybe one a week, maybe fewer, while we focus on content that's still watchable and enjoyable, but is a bit easier for us to produce, so we can approach daily content to hopefully supercharge the algorithm. And good news for you guys, you're going to get heaps of additional Shadiversity content.
We're about... bro, Shad, please, for the love of God, fucking start live streaming. Dude, Shad needs to... Dude, if Shad started a drama channel, Shad, reach out to commentary. Small commentary needs a Mormon like you on their fucking time. Oh my God, dude. I want to see Shadiversity trying to tag team Dark Viper AU with fucking Diorio. God dear.
A lot of it is really enjoyable and watchable, similar to stuff I did at the beginning of the channel, but with, look, still higher production value, combined with much of the content that we have been trying to produce. And I don't know how long we will be able to maintain it. I genuinely, this is probably going to burn us out, but it's the only thing we can do. And that's the reality of life. You know, look, I'm not entitled to have my views, my videos recommended to huge amounts. I mean, I would like equal treatment, fair treatment. I would like my subscribers to get recommended the content that they have shown they want to see. So I think that's unfair, and I wish that would change. But apart from venting about it, I can't do anything to actually change the situation, apart from changing what I'm doing to try and adapt. The unfortunate reality is that unless you have a really, really high production, ability, and you have the resources to invest to get really high production and a lot of content, people who spend more time on content are just getting crushed in the current meta. Like, genuinely, it's not the first time this has happened. YouTube restructured its algorithm to prioritize watch time, and that killed off so many animation channels. This has happened before. And so the fact that the changes with the algorithm is killing the channel at the moment is not because people aren't interested in the content. They're not getting recommended.
Can I just say, there were a lot of animation channels that were probably okay, right? But like, some of the animation channels that vanished were shit like fucking Stamper, you know what I mean? And it's like, better for Newgrounds anyway, because you say like a little, you get a little too hot toddy. I think the issue with maybe the shorter thing killed animation a little bit. I don't know, because there's still animations that fucking pop off like real big. Like, Has Been Hotel's got like millions upon millions of views. And it's long. So like that's one thing. I think the issue with animation was that it got swept up with the adpocalypse because cartoons, anything animated was being recommended to kids, and they probably just fucking turned that whole lever off. They're like, okay, I can't tell the difference between somebody's like cutesy little fart cartoon and Psychic Pebbles trying to fucking breastfeed a little monster creature type it. You know what I'm saying?
Because when they are getting recommended it, our views are huge.
And here's the thing, I am very well aware that this might backfire. It could make things worse. Things were not getting better with the way we were making content before, so we have to try something different. The thing is, though, to try and really ramp up the amount of content that we want to try and push out to see if doing daily content might resuscitate the channel. We simply can't make every video a higher concept, larger production, testing something really quirky or interesting that takes half a day to film.
Dude, it's kind of crazy that you've made this video twice now, and every time you talk about how good your channel is, you only show me like scenes from one video. I've seen you shoot those fucking fire arrows 80 goddamn times now while you're trying to talk about how good your channel is. When the fuck did that video come out? How long has it been since that? Is it this guy's on his own different channel? Fucking Nega Tyler's gone. The bald dude's fucking gone.
We especially won't be able to invest weeks of preparation time to do something like the short film, which is tragic because I would have loved to have done another one of even higher quality.
Weeks, bro? You're wasting your time. You're just not good at time management. If this was weeks to get this done, what the fuck what did you spend those weeks on? You didn't even have dialogue. You didn't have any choreography. I think this was all shot by old fucking Nega Tyler holding maybe like a Sony something, whatever the hell you shoot through with a bit of a lens on it. You're a madman. That was a joke. He told a joke.
And nearly every video content type that we've tried recently that has gotten great views in the past, the recent battle scene autopsy, the recent sword fails videos, our weapon reviews, our pop culture weapons tested, functional fandom, analyzing lightsabers, all those types of videos that even just a couple of months ago comprised the foundation, the backbone of this channel. The average views being 100 to 150,000 views per video, which was the amount that made the channel sustainable to pay our employees and to invest in higher production quality for the videos. Every single recent video of those types have just been completely crushed with their impressions, and it all comes down to those impressions.
So this is the announcement of what we will be restructuring what we're doing here to try and course correct. That's all we can do. And also, thank you to everyone who watches the content. All I can do is encourage you to try and find the content as actively as you can. Go to your subscriber tab and rely less on YouTube recommendations, because that is the thing that's really damaging what we're able to do. So that's kind of where we're at. We'll see how we go. Please continue to show up and watch the videos, because your support is how we'll be able to make this work. And also, genuine massive thank you to our supporters who are supporting us on channel memberships, Patreon player, Subscribestar. That's the thing that has kept us afloat, even though things have been getting so bad with views, recommendations, ad revenue, and all that stuff. It's our supporters that have saved us. Thank you, guys. I'm not giving up. I don't know what the
Okay. Yeah. Good job. Stick with it, buddy. Stick with it, buddy. You'll make it one day. If he switches to short form content on his channel, there's about a 50-50. It's a coin flip that the algorithm will kill him dead, because they do not like that. It's one thing that FD Signifier hit me too. If you have your channel's got to really stick to the types of stuff that it does, or you'll create a fucking basically a neutral fucking signal and just turn your entire channel off. If you were dumb enough to try to do shorts off your channel and you got 400,000 dead subs, fucking goddamn it, and then you do short form content and you fucking build up a bunch of more dead subs, you're going to be screwed. You might be only left with Night's Watch after the end of this. I think the end thing here is to understand a few things. First off, take data for what it is. Which is not a whole story. Data's never a whole story. This is something I feel like I have to tell lefties too. Numbers are cool. They're nice, but they are not the end all be all of anything except for what they equal on a piece of paper, right? Numbers on a page are on a page. Now this isn't like an anti-intellectual thing. Statisticians will tell you the same shit. That number that's on a page is a number on a page, right? Based on what you can figure out sorta kinda from the information you have. And it's only as good as the exact moment you see it, especially if any part of the number is directly correlated to time. If time is important, then the number is a historical artifact the second it's written down. Pretty much not even then. It was a historical fact when you were trying to do the equation in the first place. If you're a small creator or you're trying to build up your shit, the best thing to do is stay focused and try to do what's good. And don't veer off crazily off path to do other stuff, because your audience wants something from you, okay? And you have to just understand what it is they want from you. I think that's not the case with Shadiversity at all. Him putting on his armor, I think he thinks that, and just being himself, I think he thinks that's what his content is. It's not. His content is whatever it was when it was good, right? And whatever the good videos are. That's what the people wanted from him. He fucked up a lot stepping out of his lane. I don't give a fuck about his politics. If there was, a Lindy Beige or whatever, I don't know him that well, but if Lindy Beige just started making every other fucking video and filling all of his videos with like highly politicized comments and like this really like aggressive rhetoric, and then also abandoned his subsection of the internet to work with a completely unrelated subsection that just happened to agree with him politically, he might fuck his channel up, right? I shouldn't even bring him up. Cell Sword Arts is in the same kind of boat, right? Cell Sword Arts content always looks very similar, right? It's not like, oh, it's the same and it's like slop, but it's pretty predictable, which is good, because if I want to watch a Cell Sword Arts video, I just turn it the fuck on. There's going to be maybe some stunt guy stuff. He might have some shorts where he explains some little fucking thing. And then sometimes he does like sparring, and sometimes he does like, this is how you do it. Blah, 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 blah. People often ask me this question, and now I'm going to answer this question, and I'm going to try to do it really straightforward. And he just does. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much probably what people want from Shadiversity as well. And you can step out, you can get a little political here and there. But like, if politics is a genre online, right? I am arts, culture, and politics. That's why I say it all the time at the beginning. So keep myself on schedule sometimes too. You want to step out, you get fucking ass mad, you get butthurt, maybe you just have something that's interesting or gets you a real quick view bump for a while. But if you let yourself get distracted and you stray away into other content that people are not going to be returning for, you might fuck yourself up. Like Red Letter Media is a great example. They put out the same 3 or 4 types of shows again and again and again and again and again and again and again. They do well what Channel Awesome fucked up. Channel Awesome had the Nostalgia Critic, and he did Nostalgia Critic, which is just talk about old movies and make fun of them. Okay, cool. Then he lost his fucking mind and tried to do shit that he's not good at, that wasn't what his audience came for. This is even on YouTube. This is on the Channel Awesome website, that he wasn't good at, that his audience wasn't interested in, that was too expensive and too difficult for him to pull off, and that was outside his like lane of expertise to even do in the first place. And people stopped fucking watching him. It's like the perfect example of what is actually going on. You know what I mean? If you try to do a separate thing as a creative, you have to keep it separate. You know what I mean? And because people are going to think that you're unreliable. If you go to McDonald's, every once in a while, McDonald's will sell a McRib, right? And people are like, hey, it's a McRib. That's a special event. McRib's a tested product. It comes out. Sometimes you test new products. But what you can always get at a McDonald's is my standard order. 2 plain double cheeseburgers, large sweet tea, half cut, no ice. Every time. I've been getting that for years. If McDonald's stopped selling that, or McDonald's changed what that tasted like, then I would be less inclined to go to McDonald's. I might still go. I might still have nice things to say about that meal. It's McDonald's, but you get what I'm saying. But I'll be less inclined to visit. I'd be way less inclined to recommend. It's going to decrease the overall product value of that. And you are making a product, okay? That is what YouTube is. If you're not focused on making money on YouTube, YouTube is not going to be focused on sharing you, because YouTube lets you make videos because YouTube wants to make money off of your videos. So if you make money, YouTube makes money. It's one of the things I always go back to it. Like, I don't think I can make money off of that. One of the reasons I say that is because I have a limited amount of time to make videos. And if I don't make money, YouTube doesn't make money. And if YouTube doesn't make money, I'm not a priority. I have to work inside an ecosystem that is dollar driven. You do too. Everybody that's on this fucking platform does. That's why you see some people and they're like, why doesn't this guy ever grow? He makes such good content. Is it monetizable? Does he have monetization turned off? Like, you know, are they new? Do they get like, does YouTube have an incentive to share them? No? Okay, well, fuck. You know, how many of like, a lot of my videos get demonetized, but I put out a lot of videos to make up the difference, right? The clips equal out all of the issues that I cause with a lack of monetization in my live streams for cussing and stuff. People's donos to the channels, people watching with premium subscriptions, those counteract the monetary deficit that YouTube suffers from having my video hosted for money on their platform for free, no cost to me. They host my video for free, but they get something in return, right? You guys do donos. You guys do... you guys watch fucking ads. You watch with a premium account. All of those things are way more valuable. Like I said, views are cool. Money's better. Money is leverage. It's pure leverage. That's what it is. And if you're not making money, or they can give it, they can make recommendations to someone else that makes more money, they'll go in that direction, and there's no reason for them not to. Literally none. You can come up with any moral reason you want, quality, shit that you think you care about. None of that matters. You got to really be, I fucking hate how good that show is. You have to be Roman Roy when it comes to entertainment. If you can do something and it pops off because you're talented, based. Fuck yes. But trying to get people to wait for you to be good, or trying to give you extra time to get good again, you know, you just come off like, you know, this, like a wasted starlet in one of those 1950s movies, like, I used to be on top of the world, Jimmy. They loved me. They still love me. My fans write me every day. I don't know why I can't star in your picture. Like, well, they just don't want to see you on the screen. We just don't have work for someone of your talents anymore. Like, this is the exact same thing again and again and again and again in show business and media. This is show business. Sorry, hate to break it to you. Yeah, I'm in the same fucking field as Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. I'm just not anywhere near as big or good at them. You know what I mean? I'm not as big or as good as the people winning local Emmys at the fucking the ABC fucking news program in my neighborhood. But it's all the same thing. People want a good product. They want it to not get stale, and it doesn't have to be high quality. They'll still eat it. You know what I'm saying? They'll still go to it. It just has to be something you can return to. This isn't like this is the secrets to the kingdom. It was what you expected all along. Okay, you have to be leverage focused in your life, and if you want to get more views, you have to give them a reason. That's a real reason. If you put me up, I'll be low risk and I'll make you money. And every time that I deliver on that, I'm more likely to get bigger. I'm gonna be low risk. I'm gonna make you money. I'm going to be low risk. I'm going to make you money. That's what they want, right? That's what all businesses want from anyone that works with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, just understand that when you're going into it. The biggest fucking metric to any of these things is going to be what their impression, what I want to see, impressions to dollars. That's what fucking YouTube cares about. Every time I give you an impression, people have a screen that can fit 4 video thumbnails in it. Or maybe 2, or maybe 3, or maybe 8. If I pick you as one of those 8 thumbnails, what do you give me? If he gives me $10 and you give me $10 and a cent, I'm going to pick you because it's $10 and a cent. If I give you a chance and you make $25 one time, but the other times you flub, you know, but he makes $5 every time, but he shows up constantly and over the same period, he'll give me $100 and you'll give me $25. I'm going with him. He gives me $100. That's what it is. If you break down everything, if you try to figure all of it out, all that's going to matter at the end of the day is per minute watched, per gigabyte uploaded, per fucking impression given. How much money are you returning to YouTube? What are you giving them? What are you giving them for them giving you access to attention? And if you're not giving them much, if you're not making them a bunch of money or equivalent money to somebody else that they can choose instead, they're not going to pick you. That's more than likely what's going to, I make a lot more money than other people. Yeah, but you're a declining investment. You're a big pig right now, but your old catalog's dying. Your new catalog's not that great, and we have up-and-comers coming. They're going to fucking knock you off. There's somebody that's going to be 10K, 25K, 150K, still a fraction of the size of your channel, but they're starting to fucking click. And if we give them a lot more attention, eventually, very soon, they're going to be much, 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 much fucking larger than you, and they're going to be more reliable. That's what business is. All of the metrics are for that. They are not for you to feel successful. They are not for you to gain some deeper sense of feeling. They're not to equate to your politics. It's capitalism. It's raw, dude. Raw off rip. How they value the metrics relative to their bottom dollar, that's on them. Okay? And maybe everything's not perfect. Maybe it doesn't all work. But at the end of the day, if you're making money for YouTube, YouTube's going to recommend you. You know who's useful as shit? Fucking old sloppy fucking Charlie Penguinzo. Never causes any goddamn problems. Gets 6 million views on a 10-minute video, makes a fuckload of money, and then goes the fuck away. Perfect. That's a perfect creator. Perfect. Of course, doesn't even have to fucking have a thumbnail. What do you do? Hey, it's Charlie. People love watching him. They always watch his shit. He talks about something that everyone else is interested in. So if I'm going to have this topic that's trending, a trending topic, I'm going to put him at the top of the stack and then have a bunch of fucking fallbacks underneath him because he's going to have the juice. He's going to have what people want to see, what they want to hear. They're going to sit there, listen to the end. Good. Money. That's the economy. That's what it is. If his old videos are dying, that's a big fucking indictment, really, now that I'm thinking back on it, because if he's like a video essayist kind of guy, that means that when the algorithm brings up his backsheath video or whatever the fuck people are searching for, if there's him and there's someone else, XY, they're choosing X. They're going the other way, right? Or when they're choosing him, not as much watch. So it just gets devalued. You know what I'm saying? And that's the case. It's not rocket science. It's money. It's always been money. That's what it is. That's why YouTube's so much fucking bigger than Twitch. Twitch doesn't do that. Twitch is uneven. Twitch has moral fibers of some sort where, you know, you see Clancy trying to do a little bit of this and that with certain chunks and it fucks those people over. But for everybody else, it's money, 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 money. Don't break the rules. Don't get us sued. Don't fuck up with the advertisers and then get an income. And we'll put you out there. That's what I've been thinking about the entire time I've been running my channel. So I'm like, yeah, thank you for the donos. I used to say this, like, fucking get premium. It benefits me. You know what I mean? Like, every time you watch with premium, it's better than a view from a free viewer. 10 free viewers and 1 premium viewer. Fucking kind of money with the premium guy, especially because I'm a salty boy and I say cuss words and they demonetize me. And that's just the case. Like, you just have to make more money. I think that's probably it. Shad's not making money. He's firing people, which means that he's not converting his views to ad sales, which is the only way that he's making money off of that. And he's like, oh, thank God for the Patreon, because I want to. YouTube doesn't give a fuck about your Patreon. Your Patreon's worthless to YouTube. That's money that YouTube's not getting. YouTube's not making money off your Fansly or your OnlyFans or any other thing. They're not making money off your PayPal donations. YouTube wants to see ad revenue go up. Ad revenue up. Donos up. Anything that they get a cut out of, up. That's why I don't even like to think, you can tip me and YouTube won't get a percentage of it. You can. I don't do that. I don't even recommend it anymore. I get a little bit of more money. Yeah, sure. But I'm also not paying the ferryman. I got to kick up. I'm a fucking nobody. Okay. I don't have leverage. I got to kick up like I'm in a fucking mafia. If I don't kick up to YouTube, why would YouTube be cool to me? If you really think about it, if they're not making money off me, then why the fuck would they put me out? That's my thing. And I feel like that is just going to get you closer to the truth every time. Your biggest thing you should be focused on, do your views stay good? And what's your impressions relative to your income? I want to see that metric talked about more openly, honestly, because I think that'll fucking tell you a lot more about the story than almost anything else. Because all the other metrics are pretty much trying to get that number higher for YouTube. YouTube has 1 billion impressions or whatever it can use per day. That's how many literal eyes or whatever it does the calculations that can look at YouTube in a day. it has to turn all of that impression into as much money as possible. I mean, that's the bones of the system. Everything else is just trying to figure out how to optimize that number. That's pretty much how I think you need to focus on, really. And that's just my opinion. I don't know. I would run that by a YouTuber, a YouTube fucking CEO type. And I wouldn't be surprised if I was a guy at the top of YouTube and I had to my job was to make that number up, and I had dials to touch and turn. I wouldn't you get fired if the number doesn't go up. Would I be turning DEI woke to the top, or would I be turning fucking impressions to money tube go up? I'll be doing that one, right? They're capitalists. They're raw dog, old school Reaganite capitalists. They're fucking from where Reagan is from. They're from California, okay? It's the same goddamn people for years. They want more money. They want more money. They want more money. Do you get the money? No? Who gives a fuck? Do you get the money? Yeah? We can talk. That's it. And that's the end of the segment, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Hope you enjoyed your time on the Westside.